Hey guys, my name is Vanessa and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing the Graco Ready2Jet travel stroller. And so before we get started, let me give you a little background on myself. So I am a mom of two. I have a 20-month-old and a 3-month-old. Last year I went to Argentina with my 12-month-old at the time. I was traveling with the Uppababy Minu V2, which was amazing. So I'll have a separate video coming out on that stroller. But now that we're going on another trip, we're actually going to Ireland and Portugal, and I need a second stroller. So I've been looking into another one, so I wanted to give you guys a review on this one here, give you guys my thoughts on it, as traveling with the Uppababy Vista is just not going to be doable with how big that thing is. It is not travel friendly. All right, so let's dive in and get started here. All right, so here we have it. This is the Ready2Jet stroller. Give you guys a little quick view on this first before we dive in. All right, so let's start off with the fold, because I feel like that's what people always want to know first. How does this fold down? How small does it get? So if I fold it down one-handed, there we go. Okay, let me start off by saying this stroller is super light. It only weighs just over 13 pounds. So I definitely can tell, like I feel it. It's light, it's gonna be easy to move around with. So that is one thing that the stroller does great on. To open it back up, yeah, I just kind of pull this. I'll give you a close-up on it after, but you pull the lever and I kind of swing it out. It is lightweight, so it's easy to do that little motion with it. And there we have it. So now to be able to either fold it down or unfold it, you have to slide this here. And then if you could see at the back, there's this button. So you have to push that button at the same time for it to go down. So let's go over a few things I've noticed right off the bat with the stroller. So if you have the sunshade open because you want to see your baby, or you just don't need to open because it's not bright out, the sunshade rests on your hands when you're pushing the stroller. So if you're like me, that's something that might bother you. Now here's a closer look of how when my hands are on the bar here, we do have the shade canopy touching them. So next up, to pull the canopy open, it opens like this. There is a decent amount of shade that it provides. I did find something off of Temu, I'm sure you can find it on Amazon too, where you're able to add an extender to the canopy if you want to make it really dark, if you plan on having your kids have lots of naps in here. But as a whole, I would say, it's not bad. It could be better. Moving the canopy, I will say, I noticed that right off the bat, that it's not a smooth motion. Do you hear it? It kind of like clicks, I find, sideways. It's not like a smooth movement up and down. I will compare this stroller to the Uppababy Minu, because that is what I have and that's what we used on our previous trip. So in comparison to that, it's not as smooth. But I mean, this is a third of the price. So big difference there. When it's open, there is no way to see your baby or child through this here. There's no little mesh screen peekaboo door. So if you're wanting to check up on them, you have to, walk all the way around. Something else I noticed on this one here. The stroller comes with a cup holder, which I absolutely love. I don't know why they don't all come with one, because, honestly, either I have a drink or my toddler has a drink. So either way, we need a cup holder. You would be able to take this off easily like this for the airplane, because I don't think that's something you'd want to actually fly with. I feel like that could get knocked off and you'd lose it. At the back here, unfortunately, there is no storage compartment. So compared to, let's say, the Uppababy Minu, there is a little storage compartment here. But I mean, there is an easy fix around. You just get a parent pouch with some like Velcro, that would hang off the bars. Because I do find it's very useful to have that, I don't know. I feel like I always have something to put in there, whether it's their binkies, the bib, a toy, a snack, their water bottle. I don't know, I like to have a lot of things just easily accessible with the kids. So I would get a parent pouch if there wasn't anything here. So while we have this view here, I will go over how you incline the seat. That is one thing that I actually love about the stroller. It is so easy to do. So you'll see at the back here, there's this little knob. If you push that down, you can easily pull the seat one-handed, which is so great. And then to tighten it back up, if you pull on both of these, then you're able to bring it back up. So again, it's so easy to do this one-handed, nice and quick. So I do think that's one thing that the Graco did really well with their stroller. I love that. So I want to give you guys a better view of what this looks like inclined for when your baby's in there. So this is, let me just double check. Yeah, this is the maximum that they could be laying down. If I pull it all the way up, that will not tighten it anymore. That is the maximum they can sit up. Next, let's go over the basket at the bottom. So I don't believe that this one can hold too much weight, but I mean, like with all travel strollers, they're not meant for you to put a whole bunch of stuff, just the bare necessities. So it is going to be easier for you if you have a travel diaper bag where you don't have necessarily everything in it that you normally would. But you can access it from the back as well from the front, which is nice. Over here, to be able to access it, I would raise this up. So you have to pinch two things on the sides here. And then the leg part raises up, so then you would be able to access. I guess you could raise it all the way up like this to really be able to get underneath there. Okay, next we have the bumper bar here. To be able to remove it, you just need to pinch two things on each side, and it comes out like this. When you want to take it off, there's this little button here that you have to click at a place for it to come off. Or you can slide it back on like that. Compared to the Uppababy Minu, if you're wanting to remove this, you're not able to like slide it off to the side like with the Uppababy. It's kind of all or nothing. So that is one thing that I don't love about it. So now to put the bumper bar back in, you're able to just slide it and you hear it click in place. There is quite a bit of room here, so I do think it'd be doable to put your child in the stroller with this on. Okay, let's go over the harness now and how this works. So you have the 5-point harness, which is great. You're able to adjust all the straps, which is great. So this one here, you know, you're able to loosen it like this, and with the other ones, to undo it, you clip it. One thing that I don't love about it is that it is in two different pieces. So I mean, and that might be a pro if you just wanted the hips fastened down, but if you're wanting everything, you have to thread it through and then be able to click it in. So I do like how the Uppababy is just one piece. This isn't my favorite design, but again, budget stroller. If you want to adjust the height of the harness, you are able to do so. First, you have to take off this pad here, which is very thin. I don't think that makes a big deal for the child, but just compared to the Uppababy, this does feel a lot cheaper. It's a lot flimsier. And then you're able to thread it through like this and put the strap through the padding here. Like this here. So it is a rethread harness. Something else to be aware of, this doesn't always stand up easily. So if the wheel is somehow like this, it is going to just fall over on you. So you do have to make sure that the wheels are both placed in the same direction. So compared to the Uppababy Minu, where it rests on something solid, that is just something to be aware of, that it might start falling over on you. Okay, so let's go over uncollapsing this. I'm just sliding the button, pushing it, and it opens up nice and easy. And same thing back down. Okay, next thing to go over, we have the brake here. So this is a little flimsy in my opinion, but we do have a little brake that you just step on and you unlock it like this with one foot. All right, here's a close-up of the wheels of what they look like. I will say the stroller turns nicely. I don't have any issues with that, but I will say it is very flimsy. Going over a curb, especially compared to the Uppababy, this one has a hard time with it. It is not as smooth of a ride. All right, so here's going over the curb, what it looks like. I mean, this is probably going to be a little different as there is no child in here. But we have noticed that with our two strollers, when we were comparing them and going for a walk, that this one just wasn't as smoother. We'd often get caught on little bumps. So I feel like this isn't the best example here. Probably makes a difference with the weight in the stroller, but I don't know, we would find going over like little curbs like this, it would just like get stuck at it and really have to like raise it up to go over the bump. So I did just want to point that out. Okay, so I actually want to say a few more things about the wheels here. We've brought the stroller on 2, max 3 walks now, just around our neighborhood to try it out before our big trip. And I've noticed, if you look closely, that there are actually quite a few marks on these wheels. So my thoughts are that this isn't going to last long term, that this would be great for like one trip. But if you're looking for a stroller to actually use on a regular basis or on multiple trips, I don't know how well this would actually hold up over time. So there was a flight when we were traveling with our Uppababy Mini where we had to take the wheels off for it to fit in the upper head bin. So let me show you how to do it with this one. To be able to take the front wheels off, there's this little metal knob here. All I have to do is push that down, push that little metal thing, and it comes out one-handed. All right, very similar for the back tires. To be able to take them off, back wheels, there's this little metal thing, and you're able to just slide it out. Same thing on this side, you just push this down There you go. Push it down and you are able to take that out quite easily. All right, so I'm going to show you what the stroller looks like with as many things taken off as possible. So I would feel pretty confident that this would fit in an overhead bin. You would have to find obviously room for all of this in a separate bag. The front wheels, back wheels, bumper bar, and cup holder. But this is very compact. This is quite small, so I do think it would fit in one. And so the perks to this fitting in the overhead bin are that you don't have to wait for the stroller. When we went to Argentina, Uruguay, Mexico, there was one of those flights, I can't remember which one, where we had gate checked the stroller and we had to wait quite a while for it. So, I mean, it's just like the last thing. When you're traveling, you have a little less patience and having to wait for the stroller and you're carrying your baby, everyone's tired. You just want your stroller. And for it to take, you know, that long where everyone's off the plane waiting for the luggage, it's a little frustrating. So it is nice to be able to keep the stroller with you. So this fitting in the overhead bin is quite lovely. If you guys are interested, I could definitely make a separate video on all of my tips and tricks for traveling with a baby and a toddler. Now I have gone on 2 separate trips with my now 20-month-old who was younger at the time. So leave a comment below and I will work on those videos for you guys. So yeah, I do love how seamless this is because when I'm in an airport about to board, I want this to be quick. I don't want to hold up people, and that is amazing. That is nice and quick. All right, so those are my thoughts on the stroller. I do think it's not bad. Overall, I think the stroller isn't bad. I mean, there are definitely a few key benefits to it. It's great that it's only 13 pounds. I mean, that is seriously feather light. It is amazing how light it is. It comes with a cup holder. I mean, you get bonus points in my books for that, for sure. And I do love how the seat reclines. I think that is amazing how you're able to do it with one hand and it's just so smooth. That's definitely something the stroller did properly. I love that. Overall, I do have to say, compared to the Uppababy Minu V2, I definitely like that one better. But I mean, this one's a third of the price, so that's a pretty big difference there. So for a budget travel stroller, I think this is amazing and you'd have a great time with it. I feel confident that it would fit in the overhead bin with how small it can collapse, even though you have a few different pieces to it. It is pretty small, so I think that's amazing. So if you enjoyed this type of video, please consider subscribing, as I do post baby and toddler product reviews as well as some how-to videos. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next one. All right, bye!